Next, we have one presentation from LinkedIn. For that, I request on the stage Mr. Anup Menon, Regional Head West, Academics and Government Business, LinkedIn, who will give you information about future of work, LinkedIn for education institutes.
Good afternoon to everyone. I'll just give it a couple of seconds for people to settle down. Once again, very warm welcome to everyone. Quick introduction, my name is Anup. I represent LinkedIn. And I would like to welcome you all once again. What I'm going to discuss today is largely about, like Chandan and everyone on the dais have been talking about, skilling. What I'm going to cover today largely are three aspects of it. One is how is India as an ecosystem develop or working towards generating these kind of new initiatives. Second, I'll be talking about what are the large level challenges faced by universities. And third is about how is LinkedIn helping these universities across India, across the globe, to identify and solve few of these problems. Now, as you all are aware that it is predicted that India is going to surpass the 7.5 trillion economy by 2031. And it is also going to surpass the 40 trillion by 2050. Now, why is this happening? This is happening largely because of three things. One, it's majorly because of digitalization. Second, it's happening because of energy transmissions. And third, it's happening because of jobs, business outsourcings, which is happening. Now, largely, if you look at these three aspects, the one which concerns us the most is the jobs part of it, which I'm going to cover today. The next 25 years is supposed to be the golden era for Indian economy, wherein we are going to reap the demographic dividend of what India has been so far, the youth population, or what we call it as the Amrit Kal. Now, it becomes very important for us. Why? Because India is going to generate millions of people who are going to join the workforce very soon. So it's a joint responsibility of universities, colleges, educational institutions, edtech companies, industries, to make sure that these students who are coming out in the industry are skilled and ready for the jobs. And like our Honorable Minister, Prime Minister Modi ji says, if this batch of people are not skilled and ready for the job, they will soon become a liability. And there will not be any kind of dividend left. It will be a large kind of a disadvantage to India as a geography. Now, this is from a India perspective, India ecosystem. Now, if you flip and look at it from a student's perspective, the number one reason why a student joins a college is for jobs. Now, the biggest irony is if you speak to employees who are associated with organizations, they will say that, many of them say that, a college university didn't really set us up for success. It took us a lot of time, it took us a lot of training which went in by the corporate organizations to make us more productive. And it doesn't stop there. A large scale of people didn't even know which are the skills which are relevant in the industry. And many of them didn't even know how to start their journey in terms of job search. Now, why does this happen? This happens largely because of too much of movement in the industry. Now, if you see this data, this was released by the World Economic Forum and LinkedIn collaboratively working on it, which indicated that there are 83 million jobs which will be declined in the next 5 years. And as against these 83 million jobs, there will be only 69 million jobs which will be coming up, which means we are already seeing a deficit of 14 million jobs in the market in the next 5 years. Now, these are just predictions. And what does these predictions, why are these predictions, what are fueling these predictions rather? I will say there are multiple reasons, but the top two which I can name, one is technology. Second is the emergence of green skills. If you look at technology per se, there are a lot of things which has happened in the last 1 year itself. You can look at generative artificial intelligence, how things have changed in that aspect. You can also look at how things are changing when it comes to an electric vehicle production. A lot of new skills are coming, sustainability, renewable projects, solar energy. These are skills which are extremely new in the market, which means that we need to upskill ourselves to bring in that change and catch up to the market. Now, if I just focus on one part of it, if I just focus on that one particular skill which has been disrupting the market, which is generative artificial intelligence. Now, generative artificial intelligence was created so that it can do some of the work which humans can do. Writing, editing, content creation, and multiple those things. There is still a big confusion in the market that generative AI will take away jobs, which is not the case. Because humans are wired in such a way that we adapt. We change very fast. We tend to learn new skills. And this is what we are trying to inculcate within most of the students who are associated. Now, if you look at just this one data, it shows that 96% of the skills can be done by generative AI today. If you look at teachers also same thing. What are the core aspects of a teacher, a professor? Teaching and research activities. But if a teacher is spending a lot of time in creating presentations, infographics, correcting papers, this is not a good use of their time. And this is how AI is actually disrupting for them. Okay, this is where adapting to new technologies becomes very vital. Now, this is just one challenge which we spoke about, technology, green skills. There are a lot of other things which an institute goes through. For example, a lot of macro pressures today. Since morning, we've been hearing of NEP implementations. What changes? What are the new things which are going to come in the market? How are we focused on employability today? Because of the industry movements, because of the new changes in the jobs coming up, we need to be very much ready as per the industry standards. Second is from an institutional level. I've always heard this, that we don't get faculty. We don't get the right people to teach the right subjects. This is a big challenge. And this is something which is, according to industry or according to the academic industry, it's unsolvable, which we are trying to do something about right now. Upskilling of the faculty becomes extremely important, and engaging and retaining this faculty is one of the larger things which every institution is looking for. And the last thing are the student expectations, which means that a student, before joining an educational institution, does a lot of research, which is a good institute, which will give me great placements, who have good professors. Whereas once a student joins, it becomes a responsibility of that college to give the right infrastructure and to give the right platform so that they'll get the right job. Now, if I switch gears and if I tell you, we've spoken about India as an economy, how is it growing? How is industry coping up to this? Second, we have spoken about the challenges. Now, if I bring you a little bit about LinkedIn and what LinkedIn has been doing. So today, LinkedIn is a 1 billion member base platform. In India, we have crossed 100 million members in the last few weeks. What does this mean? This means that people are aggressively coming in and creating a profile here. And what are the main aspects of they creating a profile? It could be jobs, it could be networking, it could be multiple other things. Just to check, as simple as just to check what is my ex-manager doing or what is my peer set doing. So every time a person comes on LinkedIn, there are certain data points which we get. If you look at just one person's profile gives us a lot of data. For example, where is this person working today? Which educational institution, what location, multiple things. Now you can just do the math of 1 billion people into 100 data points. You can just see the number of data sets which we are working on. Now this is exactly that data set, and I'll just take a step back before I proceed. It is not just members, it is also the corporate world who creates a profile on LinkedIn. And what do? They are promoting their brand, they're promoting their jobs, which typically means LinkedIn becomes a marketplace for students and for industry to meet. Now, are students there on LinkedIn? That's the biggest question mark. That's where we are trying to work on. But using all these data points today, now these data points are effectively used by governments across the globe to understand what is the talent flow. Where are people coming from? What is the emergence of skills? How are skills changing? The same data set, what we have done is we are using to create products for the higher education industry. Now, these products are coming from the hardcore skills, details mentioned on the profiles of the companies, from the jobs, and this becomes real-time in nature. And that's exactly what we call it as the economic graph. What is economic graph? It's basically a digital representation of the entire economy today. How are we connecting colleges to schools, to jobs, to members, multiple things. And this is what every global economy is asking for. Give us more data on what kind of talent flows, who's coming from where, which country is seeing too much of migration, which in our country, where are people coming in from? This is what the economic graph does for you. Now, if you look at LinkedIn per se, LinkedIn using all these data sets, we've been actively working with a lot of colleges across. And what are these colleges doing? Using the LinkedIn data, the products which we have created, to give you strategic insights. Now, what are these insights? A lot of colleges ask us and tell me that, Anup, can you give me a data which shows where are jobs available today? Which states, which cities of India? And these should be active real-time jobs. Can you tell me what is the change of trends in the skills level? How was skills for one particular role 2 years back, and how has that changed today? Can you tell me where are my alumni based? I'm not able to track my alumni. Can we do that? So we have created products with which you can now start mapping these things in click of a button. And let me tell you that this is not a data which is got from any kind of survey. This is real-time data, which means active members are giving you these data. Second, I'd like to talk about Talent Solutions, which is the most used product of LinkedIn today. Talent Solution is very simple. How can we help you to hire faculties? It could be teaching, non-teaching. Gujarat as a region has been one of the most popular regions for us, wherein most of the colleges today have been using LinkedIn services to attract faculties and non-teaching staff. So that's one place where we can help you. And the third part is the LinkedIn Learning aspect. So LinkedIn Learning as a tool has been actively being used in the corporate world. And what are they using for? They're using largely for upskilling or reskilling their own employees. 3 years back, we got this request coming in from most of the colleges that when my students are going into the corporate world, they are already talking about LinkedIn Learning as a tool which is being used in those companies. So can we not start LinkedIn Learning early? Now, what is LinkedIn Learning? LinkedIn Learning is basically a library of courses which has been created by industry professionals and curated in such a way that it catches the interest of every student and young professionals. It contains a lot of content which can actually help you in your career development, in your soft skills, technical skills coaching, and a lot of human behavioral coaching happens here. So this is what LinkedIn has been trying to do, okay? If I divide this into two aspects, it's largely the core to a student deliverables, for example, insights, which is needed by the students, learning, which is needed by the students. And if you switch to the non-core side, how is it that we can help you hire and retain the best employees? I'll keep it to this. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.